Nowadays, homes are smarter than ever. People can control everything from their phones. The temperature, the lights, and knowing who's at their upstairs from miles away. Devices promise convenience, security, and control, but for some, that control has been turned against them. In California and across the country, domestic violence survivors are finding that connected devices, the very ones meant to make life easier, can become tools of abuse. That's why California just passed Senate Bill 50.
SB 50 is critical to helping protect victims of domestic violence by giving them control over who may have access to their digital devices.
Starting January 1st, 2026, survivors of domestic violence will have a legal way to cut off their abusers' access to share smart devices and digital accounts. According to the National Network to End Domestic Violence, 97% of victim service programs say their clients are experiencing some forms of tech based abuse. For smart home devices, they typically fall into two categories. First, there's surveillance. Smart doorbells and cameras that let an abuser track when survivors leave, when they come home, who they're with. And second, there's control, remotely manipulating lights, temperature, or locks. Imagine trying to sleep while someone keeps turning your lights on and off from miles away, or coming home to find your smart lock won't let you in your own house. Here's how Senate Bill 50 works. A survivor can submit what's called a device protection request to tech companies. They need to provide documentation like a restraining order or police report and prove that the device is legally theirs. Once companies get a complete request, they have 2 business days to either cut off the abuser's access or help the survivors reset the device entirely. What if the companies don't comply? They face penalties of up to $2,500 per device. The law also protects survivors' privacy. Companies cannot tell the abuser their access is being cut off, and they have to delete all the survivor's information within 90 days. Now, you might be wondering, couldn't survivors just call the police? Couldn't prosecutors use this harassment as evidence? Well, they could, and they did. But there's still the problem.
Even if the person is still able to use the device to harass the survivor, prosecutors can use that evidence to file charges as part of their evidence in charges. Maybe it's stalking or a threat or just as part of a domestic violence case. But the fact that the prosecutors can use that evidence and information still doesn't protect that survivor and prevent those threats and the harassments from continuing in the future.
But like any new law, SB 50's real test will be the implementation, and there are concerns. First, the awareness of the law. Prosecutors, police, and victim service organizations will all need to be educated about the law so they can guide through the survivors to fill a device protection request. Second, many agencies simply don't have the staff or resources to help survivors navigate this new process.
It's going to be a resource issue for the providers, but it's going to be a resource issue for domestic violence agencies, family justice centers, shelters, because we don't have people that are paid to help survivors with this. We're going to have to create a system so that survivors that come in and say, I need help with this, we're going to be able to say, this is how we can help you. So that has not happened yet.
Advocates say tech companies also have a role to play. Many connected devices, according to the National Network to End Domestic Violence, aren't designed with misuse in mind, so the collaboration is still needed.
We want to have conversations with tech companies to find common ground where we can protect. And we know that they do have some of them things in place to protect, but it's not good enough because those who are exploiting are finding loopholes to continue this exploitation. It's important to take the time to sit down with tech companies. Let's find common ground because we believe that tech companies also believe that exploitation is wrong.
From Peninsula Press, I'm Meisi Lee.